CBC Boxing. So this morning, as I'm going through boxingscene.com, I came across an interesting article which kind of made me laugh. Chris Eubank pretty much calling out Canelo Alvarez, saying that he'd go in there to destroy the world middleweight champion. Listen, I like Chris Eubank a lot. To be fair, I like him a lot. I like him and his dad. Like, the way they carry themselves, the father and son relationship, that persona that they carry. And I think it was on Goggle. Was it Gogglebox? They was on Gogglebox last year or something. So they were just obviously trying to promote Junior's name. But anyway, back to boxing. Listen, Eubank is not beating Canelo. It's that simple. Eubank has got a loss against George Groves. With all due respect, George Groves is a phenomenal fighter as well. He's a very good fighter. And I think Chris Eubank, he's got another loss against Billy Joe. I'd rather see Eubank fight Billy Joe in a rematch again, because I think that would be a good fight. Billy Joe was also meant to be fighting Canelo, and I think it almost went over the line. It was really close, and then because of the pandemic, I don't know what happened, if the fight got called off or if it got postponed, it couldn't have been postponed because I don't think it got announced, but I think it was really close. But for Eubank to be calling out Canelo, listen, I think he's got a few more fights he's got to have and prove to us that, he's on that level before calling out someone like Canelo. I'm just looking at Canelo's record now. He's beating Daniel Jacobs, Rocky Fielding, obviously those fights against Triple G, he had the draw and the loss. I think that was at a higher weight class than what he probably would fight against Chris Eubank. If he was to fight Eubank, he might have to drop some weight because he's moved up to light heavy, obviously after he beat Kovalev. So I think Canelo. I think Chris Eubank's got to focus on other avenues rather than trying to fight Canelo. With all due respect to Chris Eubank, as I said before, I think he's a great fighter. I went to see him fight James DeGale at O2 in February. That was a good fight, but I think James DeGale was pretty much finished by then. And 2 fights before that, he lost to George Groves. So he's got, I can understand why he's calling out Canelo during this time. I think Chris Eubank's coming up to 30 now, so he wants those big fights. And obviously, the older you get, the harder it is to keep in shape, and you want to have these big money fights. But it's an article that I thought I'd speak about. Very interesting, very funny at the same time. But I don't think he's touching Canelo anytime soon. I think if he does, Canelo will knock him out, just like he has with many of his opponents. But what do you guys think? CBC, I'm out.